restart the stream. The first time I wouldn't even show it. Finally. I don't know why it didn't show up the first time. Man was not my father. I mean, kid at the stadium. It was about Badger pulling the suitcase to get $1 million. That Badger pointed a gun at me and then shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun. I got some more. There was a gunshot and another person crumpled to the ground and ran scared for my life. You think the big picture is finally coming in focus, don't you? I mean, I don't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only if I could have protected you. So Miss Pop shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true, you're saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? True. You will be surprised how often people lie without even realizing themselves. Okay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. So that means she's probably like lying.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, father, why did you try to shoot me? Did you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Miss Edwards? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun and it pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. It pops. Please calm down and take a deep breath. And then would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course.
Objection!
I've heard a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Then the person pointing the gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mrs. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger had a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with the left. Isn't it possible that went down like... Were you paying attention to what Miss Potts was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with this smudness. Out with it already. Miss Potts told us earlier there was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was Bad Badger. It had one of those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, but Pop claimed to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet the Bad Badger had both his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. They are both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. The pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw sunglasses and beard. But what if the bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? That proves that there was a way for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands.
Take that!
The costumes have two parts to them, a head and the body. Oh, I get it now. The head in the pop's skull probably really the head of the bad badger. However, it's not possible that the body of that was an entirely different badger? A different badger. Yes, or put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the bad badger, total badger?
Take that!
What the heck is it? It's a proto badger. Yes, it's a simple matter of process of elimination. As Pops is wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. The pink badger is the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. I always left at the proto badger costume. The Pops, who was the one who wore the proto badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the bad badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot the Pops while wearing the hideous thing? The stage was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that setup. And his purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed a murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that way she could pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, what are you going on about? She up sweating profusely. Why exactly what I have to do all It's like, where are you getting that here? There is one reason, Lance. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What? That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. But what did that have to do with anything? Bingo! It depends. The turn in the top. Her attacker held the gun in his left hand. Who is what-handed? That prove what they did. Besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto-badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he will have found himself dead, right?
Objection!
Of course. Naturally, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But we had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure he wouldn't be hit with a bullet.
Take that!
We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout. A broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing. Plus it was missing something. And that's something that the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks. Where's the gun you used now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe it's the same they assume that with the model gun unquestioned. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is more computer. I'll admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability, and I'm right, is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. I knew you were full of it. You're so full of it. However, I do believe the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please wait a second. Simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. Saw the victim in a state of being restrained. Something's not adding up here. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? We thought it would attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. And then when I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at the time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Hoff saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at that time. Wouldn't you agree? Why does it sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it more in detail.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Did you go in the other room to check? Lance said it was best if I didn't go too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then, are you telling me that you did not confirm that with Mr. Deacon yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. It just had to be Mr. Deacon. So a Bad Badger head?
Hold it!
So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume? Yes, and? It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? The person you saw was not the victim. What? Why not? I will tell you why not. With this. This Mepopta showed the person that you saw was not the victim.
Take that!
Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. The person you actually saw was this person. It was me. The person I saw was you? I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even if they're heading over the ransom? It was not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? You showed me Pop the person, namely me, with the Bad Badger's head on. And then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended. Well, what do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, then he escaped it via passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up with that tidal waves of coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave. You heard a loud coming out of they get to see a shed of evidence. It's a portrayal and a subject of entertainment. All that should happen while you were out cold. That's right, you were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even that was the case, Miss Potwell still seen me tied into that beam. Scared from Mr. Dickens, so I didn't in this room. Well, they have no idea we're in there or not, Miss Edgeworth. See? So it seems like you can't prove a thing. Who said that? Please wait. Giving it your all. And Lance? It's no good to cause trouble for others. See, you're the one in charge of the investigation, correct? That's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you know? Is that what I think it is? Is that the bad badger costume the victim was wearing? And the gun! I can't wait for the run for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears they were disposed of in the sea. No one in the country who actually obeys the law? There. No. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the chief of police. Please allow Mr. Armano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? Chief of police? What the? Who does he think he is? A person who wields the highest authority in this area. You're there now? There's no need to be so upset. I'm not cat from this room. So I'm not bound by laws of your country. No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that, however, returning to the topic at hand. If it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at the new evidence. I've already got the results back. I found a special forensic research lab that I'm gonna return for the test. They verified the blood on the top that belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they found were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find a final piece of evidence, but this still have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the taste-making pieces of evidence? Huh, I'll be the judge of that. Nothing to do about the area. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the custom head. Hey, that spark eye. I bet they're really valuable. Sorry, I bet they're just pieces of a mirror, but why are they in here? There's nothing in here about this area. This be the gun and actual murder weapon? Bullet hole. Well, it looks like kind of burn around the edges. Wait, those burn marks are left by the gunpowder. It's most important fact. But why is that? because it's proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Well, are these not the most definite piece of evidence you ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even in Mr. Edgeworth over there. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun, and they proved that was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was after Lolly's life. So Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. Fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You would me. Why don't you believe me even in the face of all this evidence?
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Still my connections, I had the best friends that money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit particular. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pop's print should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pop's print should not begin is...
Take that!
It's not possible for Miss Pop to have left any print on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, she was wearing a costume. But there's been no mistake, we found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time? Oh yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back at the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when I left for the haunted house. Treatment and money, I suppose. And there you have it. That's when Miss Pop's print found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Almano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Aunt. What? No way, I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
Take that!
Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you'll see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
The burn around his bullet hole made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. So then, you mean the murder Miss Oldbad saw at the stadium was really... Yeah, she saw two people, but they were separated by distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Then set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was in prison was. I got it. I know where the real scene of the murder. The real location where Mr. Deacon was killed is here.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that's highly likely that the victim was killed there. I prove that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house.
Take that!
These were inside the costume and the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find a piece of mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there's one place I can think of where there's a plethora of mirror fragments. And that's the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you kill Mr. Mr. Deacon with a revolver at the haunted house. After that, you stole a Blue Badger mobile, moved his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when Blue Badger mobile was stolen confirms this fact. Now, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano. I can't do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking more nonsense. And this Amano threat, I mean you now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is its evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call the mirror bit decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Jenna, wasn't there a mirror the kidnapper had out? Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible for the fragment that got in the costume there? The ancient lane, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. That's true. Probability. Lane Z says the truth path, the word probability doesn't exist. The only thing that does is it's a definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that proves that the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? So, since you don't have any, shut up. I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. I'll go ahead and save here for now. Go ahead, head on off for now. I know it's kind of early, super early to get off, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my dinner, and I'll be back on tomorrow with more of this. I'll be finishing this up tomorrow with the part. So, I hope everyone here has a great day, and I'll see everybody in the next room. Later, everyone.